Hello guys, welcome to another new video on my YouTube channel, and thank you guys for watching my videos. If you are a subscriber, thank you guys for subscribing to my channel. And I want to inform you guys that if you want to support my YouTube channel, you can go ahead and buy my Palo Alto Networks PCNSE complete course plus XM on Udemy, and I'm going to leave a link on the description below. This to help me to support my channel so I can come up with a lot of more content. And also it's going to pay for my certifications. I want to take a lot of more certifications, and when I'm preparing for these certifications, I'm going to be adding content to my YouTube channel for those certifications and what I'm using to study, so you guys can also use it. And also bring in a lot of more labs. So if you want to go ahead and check out my Palo Alto Networks PCNSE complete course, PCNSE, I'm going to leave a link on the description below. And what to expect. Right now it has over 16 hours of videos. It has 179 lectures, 209 questions, and 2 practice tests. Already 4 students have enrolled, so thank you guys for that. But I'm going to be adding content to this course, at least 3 videos per week. You should expect. So this is going to go a lot higher. The hours and the lectures are going to go a lot higher. So let me go ahead and start with our configuration that I'm doing for Palo Alto Networks. So I'm going to be configuring a lot. Let me go ahead and bring this up, zoom in a little bit so you guys can see better. So the first thing is I want to go ahead and configure the management interface. And in this management interface, the way that you configure, you want to go into the config T. You want to go to the CLI of the Palo Alto Networks firewall. And from the CLI, the first thing that you want to set up that management interface as static. So we do a set device management system type static. Then after that, you want to go ahead and configure the IP address for that management IP address or management interface, and you do IP address 1.1. Oh, you got to do a space 1.1.1.1. Net mask 255.255.255.0. And then you want to commit your changes. If you don't save your changes, you won't be able to use that management interface. So you got to make sure to, whenever you configure something, and if you want to see if it works, you want to commit your changes. Otherwise, it is not going to work. Right now, it is taking a little bit longer, but not that long. And as you can see, you can see my topology over here. I have 2 servers. So this one are going to be 2 computers over here. This is the management where I'm going to access the web GUI. There's a Linux device over here, and here's a web that I want to add traffic to it. So coming from the outside into the DMZ, I want to allow traffic only for HTTP. So we are going to take a look at that. So here it is. The configuration has committed successfully. So now we should be able to use that management interface. So if you go into my browser and I go into that IP address that I set up to 1.1.1, I should be able to go in there. And this browser has an IP address of 1.1.2. It needs to be in the same network. So the same subnet mask 1.1.1.2/24 and 1.1.1/24, of course. So let's go ahead and log in over here. Admin and admin is a default password. I did not change the password. And if you want to know how to change the password, I have a video on my YouTube channel that you can just go ahead and watch on how to change the default password for Palo Alto Networks, which you have to do whenever you're using the Palo Alto Networks VM on AWS, because it won't let you into the GUI, into this web interface. It won't let you in. You need to set up a password for that admin account, otherwise it won't let you in. So if you want to see that video, is on my YouTube channel. So now we are going into the Palo Alto Networks GUI, a web interface. Yeah, they call it web interface. So here is the web interface. A little bit slow today. Let's go ahead and just click on do not show this again. Thank you very much. So now we want to go into network. The first thing that I want to set up is I want to set up the zones, the virtual routers, and all the interfaces. So let's go ahead and start with Ethernet 1/1, this interface right here, which is the inside network. So I want to set up the virtual router. I want to create a virtual router. I want to create a zone, which is going to be called in. And this one is going to be a interface type of layer 3. If you want to know more about the different interfaces, go ahead and get my Udemy course, which I go over every single one of them. And I do a lot of labs. So for the virtual router, I want to put in the default for now, and I'm going to change the name to in or inside the zone. I'm going to create a new one. There it is. So now the IP address is going to be 192.168.10.1/24. I want to also be able to ping that interface to make sure so I can have ping. So I want to allow the service of ping. Let's go ahead and say ping. That's what I'm going to name that management profile. Press OK. So we are in the inside. So it's 1/2 is going to be the DMZ. So let's go ahead and configure 1/2 to be in the DMZ. The virtual router is going to be in the virtual router of out, the same as Ethernet 1/3. So let's go ahead and create a new virtual router for this one. And I'm going to be calling this VR out. And select OK. The zone is going to be DMZ. DMZ. There we go. Layer 3. So DMZ. IPv4 is going to be 192.168.2.1/24. Advanced, I want to add the ping. I want to be able to ping so I can have connectivity. Let me see. Virtual router zone, security zone. I put it in the zone. Why did I call that zone? I wanted to call that in. We can change that in a little bit. Let's go ahead and go interface 1/3, which is going to be the outside network, an IP address of 20.1.1.1. Also want to configure an IP address of 30.1.1.1. Net flow is fine. Virtual router is going to be VR out, same as DMZ. The zone, this one is going to be called out. IP addresses 20.1.1.1/24, and I also want to add 30.1.1.1/24, and that's going to be for the so whenever I ping 30.1.1.1, I want to be sent to 192.168.2.2, which is his web interface. So I'm going to configure destination NAT. So virtual out, zone out, all of that is good. IP address, where am I getting a error over here? 30.1.1.1/24. Why is it not letting me? 20.1.1.1. Press advance. I don't want to allow ping or anything like that, so we can actually, if we allow, what we want to allow it over here is ping and HTTPS. And I want to also allow HTTP. Let's go ahead and do it like this: HTTP and HTTPS. Because if we don't allow HTTPS, then we won't be able to get into this web browser. Looking good. So now we have 1, 2, and 3. Let's go ahead and go into the zones. And I want to go ahead and change the name of this one. I want it to be called in and not zone. I don't know why I put zone. In. for the virtual routers, the defaults, I want to change the name to N. There we go. Now what we want to do, we want to configure a couple of policies, a security policy. So I want to allow traffic from inside to outside, and from outside to the DMZ. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Let's go ahead and create a why is it not letting me add? Let's go ahead and go back. Should let me add one. There we go. This one is going to be called in to out. It's going to be intra-zone or interzone. Interzone means that it is going from one zone to another, and intra-zone is in the same zone. So we are going to do interzone. It's going to be interzone in. The source and destination is going to be out. Actions is going to be to allow. Now we want to allow from outside to the DMZ. So out to DMZ. Let's leave it as universal. Source is going to be out. Destination is going to be DMZ. Actions, because we don't want to allow from outside to start the into the inside. We don't want that. That's a security risk. Now let's go ahead and do a destination net. First, we're going to do the source net. So from here, I want to, whenever we go outside, I want to get 20.1.1 to go outside. So the way that you do that, that is called a source net. From inside to outside, it's called a source net. And the way that you configure that, you go into policies, policies, net, and from over here, you configure that in to out net original packet. The source zone is going to be in. Destination zone is going to be out. The source address is 192.168.10.0/24. Destination net is going to be any outside. Now we're going to translate this into a source address translation, dynamic IP import, translated interface. It's going to be 1/3 actually, and the IP address is 20.1.1.1. And then we are going to create another one, and this one is going to be a destination net from the outside to the DMZ. But you actually, the way that you configure is coming from the zone out into the zone out as well. So this one is going to be out to, not a description, I wanted the name out to DMZ net. The source zone is going to be the outside, and destination zone is also going to be outside because it is going to the IP address of 30.1.1.1, which is in the outside zone. And that's why we call the destination outside and not DMZ, because if we call DMZ, then we have to add this one, but we don't want it like that. The source address, we are going to leave it as any IP address coming from the outside to the destination of 30.1.1.1. So if any source coming from the outside hits 30.1.1.1, I want to be translated into 192.168.2.2. So let's go ahead and translate this, and it's a destination address translation. And the IP, the translated address is going to be 192.168.2.2. So if anybody goes to 30.1.1.1 from the outside, I want it to be translated into 192.168.2.2. Therefore, it's going to send that traffic to this website. Press OK. So that is looking good. Now what we need to do is we want to go into networks, and we want to configure a route. So I want to add a default route that if we are going into the outside, so to any IP address, right, we are going to say let's just go in to out to any destination. I want it to be coming from Ethernet 1/1. Next VR, I wanted to send it to out. Okay. So that is good. And if, let's say, we don't have to add a route over here because the DMZ is in the same route. It's in the same. The DMZ is in the same virtual router as the out, so therefore we don't need to configure any route. So that should be good. Now, what we need to do, we need to commit our changes, and that should do it. So after this is done committing, we should be able to ping from this. We should be able to ping the Linux device over here on the outside, and the Linux device should be able to reach the DMZ over here. So let's go ahead and give it a couple seconds so we can start pinging. Let's go ahead and start with this one right here. It is still committing. So let's go ahead and go into tools, terminal. So we should be able to ping 20.1.1.2. I'm not able to ping it. Let's go ahead and see if this Linux device has its IP address of 20.1.1.2. Tools, ifconfig. It does has that IP address. So what I need to do is I forgot to, because the outside network doesn't know how to get into the inside. So we need to go into network. And in networks, we're going to go into virtual routers. VR out, and VR out needs to learn how to get into the inside. So we need to configure a static route, and we're going to say that the name is going to be out to in, and destination 192.168.10.0/24. The interface is going to be 1/3, which is the outside. Is the next hop is going to be next VR, and that VR is going to be in. So if somebody from the outside, if anybody in this virtual router, which is the outside virtual router, wants to reach this network, I want you to send it to the next VR or in, because that's where the network is. So let's go ahead and commit our changes. Let's go ahead and go into the inside Linux device, and as soon as that's done committing, we should be able to see this ping should be able to reach the Linux, this outside Linux device. And there it is. As you can see, when it looks like it's done committing, and now you can see that I'm able to ping from inside to outside, because the outside knows how to get there now. So since we were able to configure, or we were able to verify that we were able to ping from this device, let's see if we are able to ping from this device now. See if we are able to ping the Linux device over here. Which we should be able to. Ping ping 20.1.1.2. There we go. We are able to ping 20.1.1.2. So that is good. We were able to ping from these two devices, this Linux device over here. So we have connectivity. Now let's go ahead and go into the Linux device. And what we want to do is we want to reach this device over here, 192.168.2.2. And we are going to open Firefox or any web browser that you have. You should be able to get to this web interface over here, or to this website, and that is 30. That one. And there we go. That is that web page. And if you don't believe me, let's go ahead and open this web page, and let's go ahead and configure that web page. The way that you configure that from Eve and G is that you want to go into that www folder, HTML, and you want to edit this with Pluma. Go ahead and make this bigger. And we can edit this web page. If you guys know HTML, you should be able to do this easy. I want to go ahead and find that H1. Where is that H1? H1, what is that header? I think I missed it. So let's go ahead and go up again. Here's a div. Here's the content. It works. So let me go ahead and go into the Linux and see what is Apache. That's what it says. So let's go ahead and to that website. I want to change this Apache to Ubuntu default page. Let's go ahead and say welcome to the website in the DMZ zone. Save it. Refresh. Where did it go? It should have said welcome to that. I think it's too big, so let's go ahead and go back to that web page. Welcome to the DMZ zone. Let's go ahead and call it like that. Refresh. There we go. Welcome to the DMZ zone. And that's how you are able to verify that you were able to get to this website over here. So we configure a source net to go when we go outside, we get 20.1.1.1, and whenever somebody from the outside reach 30.1.1.1, they were able to get into this web page over here. So on the next video, what we want to do, or what I'm going to be doing, is I want to be more granular on my policies. So if you can see right now, if you go to the security policy rule, for the DMZ, what we are allowing right now, we are allowing any source, any destination, any application, the default application. So what I want to do is I want to add the application of just HTTP, so that it only allows HTTP and also ICMP and ping. So they should be able to ping, and also they should be able to get to the HTTP. And therefore we are going to be more granular with our policy. So this is it for this video, guys. And like I said before, if you want to support my YouTube channel, go ahead and get my Palo Alto Networks PCNSE complete course plus the exam, or the 2 practice tests that I added. And it has 209 questions, and also my lectures are 179. As of right now, by the end of this week, I should be able to have at least 182 and more hours. So thank you guys for watching. Also, go ahead and follow me on Twitter at CCN Daily Tips. This is it for this video. I'll see you in the next one, guys, and I love you. Bye-bye.